If you're anything like me, you've been glued to your phone ever since the heart-wrenching news dropped that our beloved Strictly Queens, Tess Daly and Claudia Winkleman, are hanging up their sequins after the 2025 series. It's the end of an era, isn't it? For over a decade, they haven't just presented a dance show, they've been the warm hug on a cold Saturday night, the chaotic big sisters we all wish we had, and the steady hands steering the good ship strictly through every spray tan disaster and scoreboard malfunction. Naturally, the rumor mill went into overdrive immediately, and for weeks, one name felt like a done deal. It was whispered in every supermarket queue and plastered across every tabloid front page: Holly Willoughby. It made sense on paper, didn't it? She's TV royalty, she's the nation's sweetheart, and she knows her way around a live studio. We all just assumed the BBC was polishing a contract for her as we speak. But hold on to your dancing shoes, because a massive plot twist has just waltzed into the room. A new name has been named, and it is not Holly. In fact, if the latest buzz from the Elstree studios is to be believed, the BBC is looking in a completely different, and frankly, delightful direction. The frontrunner is now rumored to be none other than the king of teeth on TV himself, Bradley Walsh. The chase is on. Why Bradley? Let's take a breath and really think about this. Bradley Walsh, the man who can't get through a question about a German skier without dissolving into giggles on the chase. The man who brought us the wholesome chaos of Breaking Dad. At first glance, you might think, really? The guy from the quiz show. But the more you sit with it, the more it feels like a stroke of genius. Strictly isn't just a dance competition, it's a variety show at its heart. It needs warmth. It needs someone who can handle the live TV pressure without breaking a sweat, but who also doesn't take themselves too seriously. We don't want a polished robot reading an autocue. We want someone who will laugh when a dancer's wig falls off or when Craig Revel Horwood is being particularly grumpy. Bradley has that rare Bruce Forsyth energy. He's a true entertainer, a singer, a comic, a presenter. He has that old-school showbiz sparkle that Strictly was built on. Imagine him comforting a celebrity who's just tripped over their own feet during a samba. He wouldn't just offer a platitude, he'd crack a joke, put his arm around them, and make the whole nation smile along with him. He feels safe but fun, and after a few turbulent years for the show, a safe pair of hands that can still bring the belly laugh might be exactly what the doctor ordered. The set visit that started the fire. So, where is this coming from? It's not just idle gossip. The rumors hit fever pitch recently when Bradley was actually spotted at the Strictly studios. Now, sure, the chase film's nearby. He could have just been popping in to borrow a cup of sugar, or more likely, to steal a sparkly sash. But in the world of TV, there are no coincidences. When a top-tier presenter pops into the set of the biggest show on television, just as the hosting gig becomes vacant, eyebrows are going to raise. Insiders are claiming bosses are keen. They see him as someone who appeals to everyone, from your nan, knitting on the sofa to the students playing drinking games to the scores. He bridges the gap. He's relatable. He's not an untouchable celebrity. He's Brad. But what about Holly? This is the part that really tugs at the heartstrings for Holly fans. For a long time, she seemed like the heir apparent. But perhaps the BBC is looking for a clean break. Holly is wonderful, but she is heavily associated with Dancing on Ice, Strictly's chilly rival. Maybe the powers that be decided they didn't want a host who feels like they've been poached from the other side, but rather someone who feels homegrown and distinct. There's also the chemistry factor. If Bradley is the main man, who stands beside him? The dynamic of Strictly has changed so much. We went from Bruce and Tess, the mentor and the glamour, to Tess and Claudia, the supportive girlfriends. A Bradley Walsh era would need a partner who can handle his high energy but also keep the show moving. Rumors are swirling that Alex Jones from The One Show is being eyed up as his potential co-pilot. Can you imagine that duo? Alex is the consummate professional. She can talk for 20 minutes about a vegetable patch and make it interesting, but she's also incredibly warm. Together, they could be the mom and dad of Saturday night TV. It's a very different vibe from Tess and Claudia, but change, while scary, can also be exciting. The emotional void left by Tess and Claudia. We can't talk about the new hosts without acknowledging the massive, sequin-shaped hole Tess and Claudia are going to leave. It honestly makes me a bit teary just thinking about it. We've watched them grow together. We've seen Claudia's fringe get longer and her eyeliner get heavier. We've seen Tess evolve from the junior partner to the matriarch of the ballroom. What made them special wasn't just their presenting skills, it was their genuine friendship. You could tell they actually liked each other. In a world of fake TV smiles, they held hands because they wanted to. They laughed at each other's jokes. When the credits rolled, you knew they were probably going backstage to share a takeaway and gossip about the judges. That kind of chemistry is lightning in a bottle. You can't manufacture it, and that's the biggest risk with bringing in anyone new, whether it's Bradley, Holly, or anyone else. Will they care as much? Will they love the Strictly family, the pros, the band, the tea lady, as fiercely as Tess and Claude did? Why this matters to us? Why do we care so much? It's just a TV show, right? But it's not. Not really. In a world that feels increasingly heavy, where the news is often scary and life is expensive and stressful, Strictly Come Dancing is our escape. It's 2 hours of unadulterated joy. It's sparkle and music and people trying their best. The hosts are the gatekeepers of that joy. They are the ones who invite us into the party. If they don't fit, the whole illusion shatters. We need to trust them. We need to feel like they are sitting on the sofa with us, judging the rumbas and cheering for the underdogs. Bradley Walsh feels like he gets that. He understands that TV is about connection. He doesn't talk at the audience, he talks with them. What's next? We still have a little time. Tess and Claudia will see out the 2025 series, and their final goodbye is going to be an absolute tearjerker. I'm already stocking up on tissues. I fully expect a montage set to Time of My Life that will break me. But as we look toward 2026, the idea of a shakeup is starting to feel less like a loss and more like a new chapter. If it is Bradley Walsh, it won't be the same Strictly. It will be louder, probably messier, and definitely funnier. It's a bold move. It's a move that says, we aren't just trying to replace what we lost, we are trying to build something new. So, while we will miss our girls desperately, perhaps we can open our hearts to a bit of change. After all, isn't that what Strictly is about? Taking a novice, teaching them something new, and watching them fly. Maybe it's time for the show itself to take a new step.